Okay,
What we got, all right?
well, I'm coming up.
Gotcha.
Oh, I knew you did.
Okay. Then, there's a way to write the memo down.
Oh, no doubt.
Okay. I'll check this
Well, I just
over.
wait to hear then, but I'm curious what's wrong with the damn thing.
That'd be exciting.
I just put it, what's that?
Me neither. See ya.
I'll say G-O-F-F-E.
How you doing?
Well, good, you?
Doing good, doing good. I recognize your voice.
See you later.
Okay.
Yeah, that one's an easy one, yeah. Sounds good. You take care. Bye. What we're gonna look at this afternoon.
Oh, your, yeah.
But I hadn't called them. When do you think they would look at it? Sometime.
You know, it doesn't hurt to call them, because that kind of prompts them to.
Yeah. You gotta keep bothering them. Check engine light, come on, I can't, I don't have a scanner. Hopefully it's just a sensor. Oh, I need an engine. Yeah.
I put more money into my Polaris
Yeah,
four-wheeler than I did into my D8 cab.
really?
It's a fact.
Wow. That's interesting statistic. Huh. Well. I'm just looking at it, yeah.
Those daggone four-wheelers are expensive.
But pretty nice. And one, I can't remember which one it was, it was $8,000, I don't know, it's not horrible. LW, he bought a Yamaha, nice, big, good looking Yamaha, it cost him $11,000.
Ooh, ouch.
And then he backed his truck into it.
Ooh.
Got the front suspension bent. He said, I straightened it out, son. I'll have to work on it. So, wasn't on warranty. Didn't have insurance on that truck.
Yeah, the insurance, ranch insurance. Of course, it might have been a provision that if you did it to your own machine.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He said Frank did it. I don't know. So here's a Polaris Ranger crew cab. Oh, it'll be a crew cab. Crew. I'm not gonna haul anybody around. I got on their site just so I get their phone number. Yeah, I like those crew cabs. A lot of people do buy them crew cabs. Ranger 570, that's only $14,000.
The heck?
Hell, do you think you can go buy that right now?
Yeah.
Tell them to deliver it.
Two of them.
Then they go up from there. There's the North Star Ultimate $33,000. That's the one up. He had that 1500 there, I don't see it in the list. That was 30, that was 45,000, wasn't it? Something like that?
Yeah.
That's their newest one. 1500.
But shoot, it had air conditioning.
Oh. GPS, that had everything. 45,000. I'm sure you could get a pretty good pickup for that. No, I think that old Ranger I got will work fine, it just had some problem. Hopefully they find out what it is, and it won't be too damn expensive. Cause I thought I had it all rebuilt, ready to go. Except for the driver's door, if the window don't go. Well, I'm living with that. Them damn doors with electric window are $2,000.
Oh, man.
And the windows in there, I just can't get. No. So, no Reed. You should have called over there.
Yeah, actually, you probably should. See what happened.
Billy's there. What's his station name? 2704. Hi Billy, it's Mike Goffney. I'm talking on the phone. We were just wondering where Reed was today. Well, maybe I didn't talk to Audie, but she didn't say anything. Oh, I see. Part of his duties. Oh, man. Okay. Yeah. Well, we were just curious. We were having some. Right. That's right, we got dead time. Well, the sheriff didn't show up either, so we had time for a nap.
Which we took advantage of that time.
Yeah, she did, yeah, that's what, he claims he's sick, so. But I know he can't be skiing, so he probably is sick. That's true too, it's probably a brand name. Okay, well, thank you for the information, you take care. All right, bye. One of those 4-H kids was having a branding,
Oh, okay.
so.
So that's where he's at. You know, I think he said something about it,
Yeah,
but I didn't know when he was gonna be going.
well, that's where he's at, so. Yeah, I think maybe that's where Sean is too.
He could be.
He lives that road. No, she said that Heidi was in, he said he's home with a cold, so.
He's been very sick this week.
Very sick.
Who, Sean?
Yeah. He
Well,
was
Reed's
here
in-
for jury duty, but they sent him home.
Oh, he might get out. Well, Reed's in the brandy.
Oh, he didn't tell us.
He did?
Huh?
He did?
He
He
didn't tell
will from
me.
now on, I can tell you.
Yeah, Billy's apologized, she said I shouldn't. He told her to call the county.
Oh,
but-
Wasn't she in here this morning?
Huh?
She was in here this morning.
Reed?
really?
Billy, yeah.
Oh, Billy?
I didn't see her.
It was yesterday or Wednesday.
They're all bleeding together, aren't they?
They are.
So,
Well, how was the closing?
Yeah.
Well,
painful.
it was, yeah, I had to beg him. Actually, the check was for the wrong
The what?
amount. The check was for the wrong amount.
Yeah.
Again?
Too little or too much?
Too much.
Well, that's
I
good.
But I understand why, but it was off of the wrong number. They,
Um,
The total number at the bottom of the sheet was not the number.
No, it's,
It was the one above it.
yeah,
And if people would just listen to me,
Yeah.
it wouldn't have happened.
And they said, well, you guys, you can either take both these checks back, I said, or I can give you a refund. And I said, just give us a refund.
yeah, there you go,
yeah,
yeah.
And,
can't do too much of a hassle.
and it's minor thing, I can understand it. I was just joking, I told Bonnie, I said, I don't know who screwed, I called him and said, I don't know who screwed up. But, it went well, nothing, I told them they need to have fountain pens that you dip in the ink to sign.
Yeah, with a feather on it.
Yeah. Little fan,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah, blotter.
yeah. Then you seal it with
Yeah,
a little
yeah,
wax.
seal and stamp.
Yeah,
I do that all the time.
it just gives it a little more authenticity.
So, we'll just wait to see if BS shows up now, huh?
Yeah, I think they will though.
I don't know, there might be a brand new too. Or
Yeah,
six.
well, it could be, cause this was one of the doggonest things I heard about with the water deal. Apparently Monty was in here
Oh,
on Wednesday, and he was mentioning that, Brett Adolph, you know, Brian's boy, he's a modest kid.
okay.
But he met up with the construction people there on the pipeline,
Yeah.
water pipeline, and says, hey, I will be providing you with fencing materials so that you can completely install a fence along my property line.
Well,
And that was along the easement that the county has given the pipeline for the,
yeah,
the county easement. And the fellow says, we're not even touching your fence, we're not gonna put up anything. But anyway, they were talking about, that Brian probably sent him over there and says, hey, just ask.
yeah, see if they'll,
Mhm. He says, that fence could hold a cow if it wanted. He just wanted.
So why was he thinking he was entitled to his fence?
Yeah, I know, that's what they're saying.
just hold
Yeah.
it.
They were thinking, you're on my property,
Mm-hmm.
and therefore
Trying to-
I'll grant you this easement if you fix my fence.
Well, it's already there, because we've already given it.
Well, yeah, we're the ones that have the easement.
Yeah. So if his fence is on our easement,
Yeah, we should say, and you will be moving
You need to
your fence
move
back.
it.
No, he is a nice guy though, he's part of that Ridge Rider Club, I think.
yeah, he's a
Oh,
good
he's a
kid,
good
I
one.
like
He
Brett,
is.
I like that guy. They were just talking about that, it says we were pretty certain that his dad sent him down.
Yeah, if they hadn't had the easement yet, you might have an argument.
Yeah, yeah.
Or if they went in the wrong spot.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Seismographers did that to me, they were thumping, they had the big thumpers looking for oil, you know, and they were getting easements across everybody's land, and they didn't have an easement across mine. They came off a high butte, they went right across my wheat field, knocked down all the, you know,
Yeah.
and I called them up, and I said, you guys don't have an easement here, you never talked to me. And he said, well, we'll make good on that. I said, well, you better make good right now. I said, so I hang up, I'm calling the sheriff. And he said, well, what do you want? We're paying $300 a mile. I said, I want $1,800 a mile. And he said, well, I can't do that. I said, we're gonna hang up. They sent me a check for $1,800. And we wasn't worth a crap anyway. But, you know, he should have done it first. And I think he realized that. So I didn't have to call the sheriff.
Well, that's a nice story, Mike, but I think we got work to do.
But Mike has got quite a relationship with the sheriff's office.
Oh, sloppy.
He uses them as leverage to windfall off of somebody else's mistake.
Occasionally,
That just makes me respect you that much more, to be honest.
usually they wouldn't fall off my mistakes. That was more often.
When you smell a victory, you go for it. And I'm just-
I'm sure other counties haven't saved theirs.
Oh,
So, I mean, got all the, so, yeah.
man, this time is just flying.
Dead time.
Well, I got plenty to do. I gotta finish this.
I dug out that bid for putting the roof on the courthouse.
Yeah.
I forgot about it. It's in my folder. I showed it to Mike. He took it to Monty. It was $14,900, something like that.
Yeah,
Where they're gonna put that new roof on. Well, there, it was like 3 months ago, that Lori was having them fix the leak up there.
Yeah,
And then they gave her a bid on putting a whole new roof on because it needs it, they said at the time. He said, it's done. You need to get a new,
yeah,
Layer.
but that 14 grand was just to spray it.
yeah, it was.
It wasn't a new
It
roof.
was a
It was
silicone
yeah,
spray.
Yeah.
But
What do you think we should do it?
you know, I think so.
If
We could get another bid.
well,
but-
I think it's probably an honest number.
well,
If you think, you know, you really gotta realize you're not getting a new roof.
No,
no,
But if you're getting a product that's proven, that might buy you 5, 10 more
we could
years.
talk to them. You know,
Yeah, I'm not against it.
because I know
well,
you.
you're the roofing expert.
You prefer hauling tar out there.
Yeah, what I would do is I'd tear that roof off and I'd put down some ISO board
Yeah,
over an EPDM roof and put 1 inch rock ballast on top of it with an Irma roofing cement.
I think we should tear the roof off and put apartments on.
We can put another level up there.
Yep,
Yeah,
I mean,
we need another one, yeah.
we could do it. Hire to hang people from.
That's what Lennox doing, you know, they're putting apartments on the top of it. Well, the upper floor of the courthouse, they've just been using it for storage. But now they're gonna put apartments in there, and that's how they got the grant.
Who's that?
Lennox, William County. That's how they got the grant, because they're putting in apartments, you know, for low income housing or
the
whatever.
heck?
And they got a huge grant to do that. Well, we should do that.
Not a bad idea. Did you guys pick up on this big beautiful deal lowers the federal mineral royalties percentage?
Big beautiful bill.
So they,
Yeah.
not only are they gonna get an expansion, but the federal mineral royalties won't be 8%, they'll be 7%.
Yes.
Mhm.
But if you were doing above grade mining, it used to be 12%, it would go to 7%.
See, right now.
I don't, you know, but, you know, you're stemming the tide here with, well, so, people need to really think about the fact that these local governments need
More power.
money.
It'll really affect Wyoming.
Yeah,
Both of those,
it's a
those
lot of money.
reductions
Of
will,
course it will.
holy smokes, man.
Did you see I sent you guys the link to the
I
article?
did. I
Yeah,
saw that.
yeah, I read the article.
I thought it was
that was-
factually done, I thought it was well done, but I'm glad he didn't talk about the Rural Revenue Act, as, you know, that I talked about that. But it was factual,
Yeah, no, I thought it was a very good article.
but I think he has sort of a democratic slant, I think. You know, I complimented it, I told him it was balanced, but it was still, I think the whole implication was this guy what's the guy's name? Tyler or
It was
something?
Matt someone.
Yeah, well, Matt Brown wrote it, but it was about the rancher in the Bull
Oh,
Mountains.
that's
Stevenson.
Mr. Thiel.
Yeah, Theo.
Deal.
It was really about him hoping that this tariff thing will screw
Yeah.
up the deals with Japan and South Korea and the mine will shut down.
Yeah, once they lose their market, the mine will shut down.
I think it'll just strengthen them. I think they'll come back to negotiate the rates, and part of their deal will be guaranteeing they'll buy this coal or something.
You can't fault them for wanting to do that, though. 'Cause, you know, they are confident.
No, you know, we all know that, I'm glad I don't live out there. Matter of fact, I thought about that when I was gonna buy a Valley Clerk. I thought, do I really wanna, because they were putting this, building this thing off to the side, I don't know what it was. It looked like they were about to do some mining or something. I thought, I'm not sure that's a good idea, but I didn't know anything about subsidence and groundwater issues. So if that bill passes, though, it will require an environmental impact study to be done. I mean, it'll happen, and it'll be interesting what they find.
Tell you what, they include in that. They include climate change, yeah.
Well, and I hope not, but I hope they seriously look at the groundwater and subsidence.
Yeah.
And they just say, hey, look, you are impacting the environment, you gotta do something about
The
it.
thing is, the mine has the money to correct them things. I mean, if they have to move them to a new ranch, so they can do it.
Well, it's pretty straightforward. You're making a profit off of your activity, and you are harming somebody, and you need to make them whole. And it's classic is it tort law?
Yeah, that's a classic tort law.
Which I did, I had this class called Law for Engineers and Architects.
So, yeah.
And I was very vocal in the class, and I was never right. I was like, well, what do you think? Well, I think this guy was harmed. Wrong.
Sit down.
It was always off to some obscure precedent that was set back in.
Yeah.
Sometimes those precedents aren't very good. They're not. They're
No,
like,
but they're
they're
there.
like copying a template that's wrong. But I did get the concept of unjust enrichment, that's why I was making that consideration argument with the Crow Revenue Act. The Crow are benefiting at the expense of somebody else, the windfalling.
Yeah.
And then unequal bargaining power was another one, where you don't have any leverage, but you sign a deal anyway. It's real close to signing under duress.
Well, that's why lawyers make all the money.
It's very logical practice. But I think it would be mentally exhausting writing all those briefs and stuff. It's really hard work.
Yeah, I suppose it is.
And I think you'd get really smart, you'd get really sharp.
Well, yeah.
You would be a shark,
Speaking of sharks, where's Ben?
Well, he's
He's
got
upstairs, I suppose.
more, oh boy, I guess.
He is busy. Should go up and watch.
Yeah. You just jump up at one point and go, President Trump is mean to him.
Yeah.
What do they
Did you
do?
see that? Peter was in Billings protesting the meat.
That was kind of crazy.
Yeah, they parked in front of Jake's restaurant. Jake's restaurant was overflowing with people. They all came in to show them that they didn't want meat.
It actually, it went against their purpose.
Yeah.
They'll probably rethink that.
So, but they probably had government money they had to spend.
Well,
Maybe we should call Justin.
Yeah, but golly, I'm not seeing him either.
Justin, and tell him to meet him at lunch. Wonder what they're doing today. Huh. I think I should win something.
No, here they are. They're on their way.
Well, they're on their way.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hmm.
And then come see me when you're done.
Oh, yes. Yeah, I show up, they can tell what. I miss that.
And you get.
I don't want the journal.
And, for you to do that, that's when you finish your open enrollment.
Oh.
Smells like electrical burning in here.
Sounds like what?
Smells like electrical burning in here.
Really?
Yeah.
It's the higher thought, my mind is getting off heat.
Yeah. Hey, smoke's coming out of your ears.
Crossed with my shaving cream.
So that, what's that set called? Electrical fire? What, it's more like the smell of the plastic on the electrical burning, right?
Yeah.
Which is a special smell. Once you've smelled it, you'll never forget it. It's like getting shocked in an electric fence.
Let's see. You learn.
You learn. You know what's scary is, I've had a hell of a time with mice.
Oh,
A lot of these places are burning because of mice chewing up their electric. Scary as hell.
Perfect.
But I bought those things, I went over there and they have this Uncle Gus's or whatever. And it's this package that has some, mint and stuff in it. And do you know it works?
Oh, really?
I haven't had any mice.
What's wrong with you? Too much golfing?
Cracked a couple ribs.
Yeah,
Did you?
Really?
How?
the chiropractor did it for me.
Oh, bless his heart.
Yeah, I was so thrilled with him. Oh, I went in there to have him work on my hip and that. And he's like, oh, you want me to do your back too? And I'm like, yeah, sure. And he popped me once in the middle and felt fine. And then he moved to the left side. And I mean, as soon as he touched him, I about basically jumped off the table or whatever, lost all my air. Like, it sounded like in a movie, when guys are fighting and one of them like kicks the other one like in the leg and it just snaps. That's what it sounded
Oh,
like.
God.
Yeah.
Ah!
So he
I've had
doesn't think that they're
broken
broke.
bones.
He thinks that
they're bent.
the cartilage popped or whatever.
Oh.
So they'll be tender for a couple of weeks.
Oh, yeah.
And it's probably good for you.
I broke 3 ribs over here. That's the worst. I mean, I've
Yeah.
And
had
there's nothing you can do about it.
nothing.
And I hear that if you cough or you hiccup or you,
Oh yeah,
Cough.
I've had the hiccups
People
over the
try to make
last
you
like
laugh.
3 days, and I've probably had the last 3 months. I'm like, why?
And I did it the day that my husband went for a 10-day